What the hell is this?
Dad! Not a good time, Devin! Holy crap! There's something in my arm!
Well, they hire me, which is the number one reason I do anything at this point. I love it, and it's a great sandbox to do really anything, tell any story. I love the mix of horror and comedy, and bringing real characters into a surreal world has just been awesome. So.
And Hillary, as the showrunner this year, you've done so much comedy writing. What was it that you wanted to do with this season particularly?
So I think with this season, we really wanted to make sure that we were telling a story that is inspired by our Goosebumps world. Stay out of the basement is what kind of inspired this whole season. And we wanted to make sure that we were telling like true life teen stories, so kids, when they're living their lives, they're still like having fun, making jokes, even if they're running from monsters, they're still like living their life, falling in love, falling out of love, like having issues with their exes, and we wanted to make sure that we kept that alive so that we always had the humor to balance out the horror.
I'm Anthony. I'm a divorced dad of fraternal twins, played by these guys right here, Jalen and Sam. And we're staying the summer at the house I grew up in as a kid, because I got to take care of my mom who's struggling with dementia. So we're trying to make it, in spite of the difficult chapter right now, we're trying to make it a fun summer for everyone. And they're familiar with the neighborhood and familiar with some of the people, but then they meet some of the new gang here.
And your character has kind of a painful past.
Yes, which is unearthed by some of the events that all these incredible young actors get into, the adventure or misadventure they get into. But yeah, it was a tragic event that happened 30 years prior in 1994 to my older brother, who along with three other teenagers disappeared one night. They just went missing and are presumed dead. So this kind of trauma, which affected in particular Anna's character Jen and I, we know each other from back then. We both have survivor guilt, and it also, what happens today kind of unearths all that loss and trauma that we experienced 30 years ago.
Well, we go all the way back. Mm-hmm. I grew up in the neighborhood. I stayed in the neighborhood. And I think because of that survivor's guilt, maybe that's one of the driving forces of why I became a cop. And I stayed in the neighborhood trying to sort of make sure everybody's okay since these tragic events of our past. I have a young daughter who I might neglect a little bit. She's turned to the dark side, and so we have our own sort of relationship to work through, as well as me working through a relationship with Anthony, because I used to date his brother who went missing.
I read some of the books growing up. I have terrible memory, so I can't barely recall which ones. But I did grow up. I love horror as a kid. I love reading, so I read some of them. I also watched the Jack Black movies when I was younger. Yes, and I was obsessed with them. So I always knew about Goosebumps growing up, and it's like an iconic legacy, but I didn't really know about the full mad world of it until this project came about.
What about the rest of you? You said yes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Scholastic Book Fair homie, I am indeed. I mean, since a very, very young age, I've had a lot of interaction with the series, and so to go from reading the books, loving them, and now to being in the series, thanks to you all. Thank you. It's full circle. It's amazing.
Yeah. So for the younger cast, when you guys get to work together and you're having all this fun, and these are kids that are running around the city, getting into stuff. When David and Anna were on set, did it feel like, oh man, now we got the grown-ups, now we got the parents here?
They are just as fun.
I do think if I'm completely honest, we'd joke around a lot, and David would be on set, and I'd be like, he's gonna think we're.
for just laughing this much.
Right.
But no.
It's kind of crazy because they kind of just like threw us into a hallway and they're like, be friends.
Yeah, they were like, by the way, here's your cast.
Yeah,
and you're
we're
like, oh, okay.
But like, why did it work?
It did work. It did work.
I ended up playing a lot of Minecraft.
Yeah, a lot of my guys.
A lot of hours in the trailer. Minecraft,
Yeah.
scary games.
Really played that much Minecraft.
We played so much Minecraft, Sam. I think that we all were really excited about this project, and I mean, all of us except for Sam didn't live in New York, so we like came here, and it was.
So you're about to say,
Wow, that's all
Except for Sam, we're so excited. No,
But Sam, he was like,
no, Sam was in. No, we were all very excited, but Sam already lived here, so I think all of us we were coming here. We were excited. No, we were all equally excited. But I think that we just
exactly equally excited.
exactly no one more, no one less. No. I think that we all like went in just like with really like good energy and we knew this was going to be a blast, and so everyone was great to work with, and it felt like we were a crew right from the beginning.
Oh my God.
Rob loves to write to what he sees.
Love
It's
it.
his favorite thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a purpose for putting this posse together that Hillary and I sort of, even when they're auditioning, we're pairing people up and just seeing how they behave. When we're shooting the pilot, seeing Jaden and Sam argue off screen. Like that bickering is for real.
It's real.
That's
Yes.
for real.
Yes.
And one interesting thing is, Trey was a character who, as we've seen from the clips, is not somebody you maybe want to have around that long, driving some bolt cutters into, an electrical, whatever they're called. But actually, once we started working, I think the whole cast would say this with Stoney, we really felt like he completed this cast.
Yeah, no.
Well, also given
We
given
wanted
what
Stoney around.
given what Trey is into, I feel like he's actually probably the one who's going to help them figure a couple things out more than anyone.
Maybe.
Stoney's great personality off screen inspired a lot of
Yes.
way too hard.
Basically, they loved Stoney. They said, we gotta keep him. We gotta write him in more.
Yeah, and so that expanded to be a bigger part, though. That was the point, and we completed our cast.
And now,
And Galilea's whole craft vibe is the character.
really?
Yes, in real life.
I was wondering about
Yes.
is this to make sure no one hugs you? Yeah.
No, this is my self-defense right here.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
And I gotta
Don't
say,
get too
I mean, Anna, she is Brooklyn, man. She's so perfect for this. Francesca is like superhero action, you'd be dressed up as a superhero on the floor right now.
Well, she's definitely. This is an homage to Princess Leia, right?
Someone else said that to me. No.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yeah. She can't even help it.
And just to go down there, and Elijah, when we first met him, he's got a business head for real. For real. The guy's got a lot of side hustles going on.
Yes.
And that became part of CJ's character. And David, we talked endlessly about the botany. The amount of botany dad jokes he said.
He was just telling me about the dad jokes. Yeah, I have plants tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was you?
Yeah.
Wow.
And now.
Nothing.
They didn't teach. Did they get you to do like TikTok trends? Anything like?
Oh, well, no, I mean, they may have tried. They're very, very hard.
I don't even have a
Trying.
Yeah,
Some trying, but there was also resistance from the adults in the room.